I was asked to make and share a video on a water efficient dishwashing station. This is pretty much the standard river setup we would use on a multi-day or multi-week river trip. So those of you that have done those are very familiar with this, but a lot of people aren't. All you need is 4 buckets. They could be these type of buckets, collapsible ones. They could be 5-gallon buckets. They could be random pots, large pots you have sitting around the house. They could be Tupperware bins, just anything you could fit a dish down into for cleaning. The way it works is step number 1 is you take your dirty plate and first you scrape off any debris you can directly into the trash. Then the next step is you go to bucket number 1, and this is for all the chunks, just all the nasty stuff. You get the rest of the stuff you can kind of scrape off, scrub off into there. Then you go to bucket number 2 with your dish. That's the soapy water bucket where you're actually going to be doing the cleaning with the soap and the sponge. Once you're done there, you take the dish over to bucket number 3, which is the pre-rinse. So you're just dipping it in there and pulling it out. And then bucket number 4 is your final rinse. That one does have some bleach added for sterilization. I like to use 2 teaspoons per gallon for your final dishwater rinse. Then from there, you take it, this is our river setup, so it goes into a sling, a dish drying sling. But if you're doing this in your kitchen, you could have all these buckets or Tupperwares, whatever you use, just set up along your kitchen countertop. And then your dishes can just go into your regular dish drying rack or sink or propped up on the countertop, whatever you want to do for them to dry. So to set this whole thing up, it's just 1 gallon per bucket, so it only uses 4 gallons, and it's good for a couple of days. So after 2 or 3 days, the first 2 buckets start to get pretty dirty, and they need to be cycled out. And when it's time to do that, you could take bucket number 1, pour it into a 5-gallon bucket, and then that water that you're pouring off can be used for flushing toilets. So this one's now empty. Then you take bucket number 2, slosh it around a little bit, then pour it into bucket number 1, slosh it around a little bit, and then pour it into the 5-gallon bucket. And you're going to keep doing that, kind of working your way down with the buckets so that you're kind of cleaning the buckets out as you go without having to use additional water. So now these 2 are empty. We go to bucket number 3, slosh it around real quick, pour it into bucket number 2, slosh it around, pour it into bucket number 1. And usually the last 2 are clean enough that they can actually be used to take the place of bucket number 1 and bucket number 2. So the water from bucket number 3 will work its way down and end up staying there. Then we go to bucket number 4, pour it into bucket number 3, slosh it around, and then put it in its final home, bucket number 2 right there. So then you've got these 2 full. The water that was in these is now in the 5-gallon bucket to be used for toilet flushing water. And then all you need is a gallon to fill this one up and a gallon to fill up bucket number 4. And of course, add a little bit of bleach for the final wash sterilization. So if you're doing it correctly, every 2 to 3 days, you're using up about 2 gallons of waters to kind of refresh the system. And it's actually pretty quick and easy to use, just kind of working your dishes through there. It's almost as convenient as, being at home. You don't have to do one dish all the way. You can dump a bunch of stuff in there and then work, work it over to here. So you got 5 or 6 items, whatever, however many you want. And then kind of in groups, go from one to the next and then get them into the drying rack. That's kind of the standard river kitchen setup that works really well out in the wilderness where we don't have running water. It's been working for us great here without running water at the house. Somebody told me I should make a video and share it so other people can use it. So that's what I'm doing. I hope it's helpful. If anybody has questions, let me know.